Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give to the court is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, if you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is the case I remember. There was a final order put into place. Ms. Andrews then indicated that she didn't come because of some issues, so the court set it aside. And there were a lot of kind of going back and forth on that. Then there was, looks like an order. Let's see what my last order granting amended motion is set aside, amended final order legitimation. So I set everything aside. I did not issue on attorney's fees. Then there was a motion to withdraw from the attorney. Proposed order, let's see. So the attorney withdrew in the case, and then the case reset it. Okay, so where's the child currently?
He's with me. I have him now, but he stays with his mom, but she allowed me to get him for the week. This is like the first time I've seen him since they took him away from me.
Since they took him away from you?
For one, he never had custody. Like you said, it was a problem with me getting proper mail sent to my house of the court date. So I missed the court date, and whoever sat in your place signed papers to get him custody of the child when it never was custody in the paperwork that he's asking for visitation. So when you seen the paper, you signed me back my rights, signed me back to go get my son out of his custody to come back with me.
Okay. So how long was the child with Mr. Who is how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Hoos, ma'am. It's Hoos. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
probably less than a month.
Okay. All right. So generally outside of that time frame, where was the child? With you, Ms.
He's been with me his whole life, 13 years. Okay.
All right. So the issue is that Ms. Hoos, is Mr. Hoos, your position the same? Your position is you want full custody.
I initially went in for joint custody, and because she didn't show up for court, I think it was Judge Vincent.
Yeah.
Initially, he wanted just visitation. If you go look in the paperwork, it wasn't joint custody.
Well, joint custody could just mean joint legal custody.
It wasn't none of that. It was just for visitation.
Okay. So, Mr. Hoos, what are you asking for now?
I want joint custody, but at the end of the day, I just want to see my son, ma'am.
Okay. So when you say at the end of the day, you want to see your son, you're talking about visitation?
Visitation, yes. I don't want to cause any more, delays or anything. This is the first time I've seen my son in 5 months since this happened. So
okay. So how old is the child?
It'll be 14 in 3 weeks.
14 in 3 weeks. Okay. All right then. And you keep looking over. Is he there?
Yeah, he is here. He is.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
Okay, he needs to go into another room. He doesn't need to be.
No, he's not in here. I'm sitting. I'm in the living room, so I'm just trying to make sure he don't come out the room or anything.
All right then. And so visitation, she's allowing you to have him because it's the summer. And so how long will you have him?
This is the first time I'm getting him since January. So
yeah, you told me that part. How long will you have him?
I bring him back Sunday. Yeah.
So you've had him for a week?
Yes. As of now, yes, I have.
Okay. All right. How did you get him? You asked, she brought him. How did that happen?
I was at work and I received a phone call from my son. So me and my son, we communicate from time to time. He has his own cell phone and stuff like that. We communicate. He called out to me.
Hold on for a second. It looks like we lost. Okay. Miss Andrews, can you hear us? Unmute.
Yes, man, I'm here. I don't know what just had happened, but I'm here.
Okay. So how'd you get him again?
So he called me. I think it was like, I want to believe it was like Wednesday at Thursday. It was like Wednesday. And he said, "Hey, Dad, Mom said I could come over." And I said, "Thank you." I said, "Tell her I said I appreciate her,
Okay. After return custody back to Miss Andrews, did you reach out to her to ask for visitation during that time frame?
I haven't reached out to her, but I've told my son several times, we communicate to where we have a really good relationship between me.
Okay, so you and your son were still talking, you just didn't have any physical time with him.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But you never asked her for any physical time as well.
I asked her one time, and
He has not.
Don't interrupt him. I'm talking just to him right now.
There was one time.
Did I swear both of you in?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You
All right. And so your position is you recall asking her and she said no.
I asked literally one time, and she told me that I had to wait until after the court proceedings, and which I totally understand. I don't want to make anything harder than what it is. I just want to be able to see my child.
Okay. With regard to the visitation that you're asking for now, what are you asking for?
I would like to have joint, if she agrees to joint custody, I don't want to take him from her. I just want to be able to do more, like
when you say joint custody, what do you mean? Because that could mean various things.
So I was thinking like extended, visitation, me getting
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Hold on, I think I have a 12 o'clock meeting. Yes. Okay. I need to handle this meeting. I will see you all back here at 12:20. Everyone who still remains, if you return back here at 12:20. Thank you so much. 12:20.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay. So, all right. So we were talking, you were telling me what it was that you wanted for visitation.
Yes. So joint custody, if she's okay with it, I just want to have more hands-on of like what's going on in his life, like far as schooling and stuff like that. I wasn't able to go to his graduation. He had a 8th grade graduation ceremony, and he told me exactly what happened, that his mom told him not to tell me. So I mean, it sucks, but I've been dealing with so much. I'm okay with it. I just want to be able to see my son and, and do more for him. Like
when
far
you say joint custody, what do you mean?
I want to have more hands-on of what's going on in his life, like far as schooling, education and stuff like that.
So you want her to discuss those things with you before decisions are made?
If possible, we don't have any type of, a bad rapport to where you feel like she feels like she can't,
okay,
elaborate with me and stuff like that.
Okay. So that's for the joint custody. What about physical custody? What type of physical custody are you asking for?
If I could get extended visitations, like get him on like, Thursdays, bring him to school Friday, and bring him to school Monday, and then after Monday they pick him up from school and keep him until Thursday. If she agrees to it, I just want to be, there. I'm trying to be there as possible, as much as possible, Your Honor. I just don't want to go. I don't want to waste any more the court's time. I just want to,
Okay.
She says she can't.
Ms. Andrews.
I don't think she can hear. I think she just in the chat.
She can't hear?
Yes, I don't think she can hear.
Okay, hold on. Unmute.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I couldn't hear at first when you first started talking to him.
Okay.
But I can hear now perfectly.
I was asking him what type of custody he wanted. For joint custody, he wants you all to discuss major decisions dealing with education, extracurricular, health, and that, so that he can be a part of the decision making. And for physical, he wants extended time so that, for example, he would pick the kid up on Thursday, have his weekends, bring the child back to school on Monday. I'm
not in agreement with that, because like I said, in that month frame, he did have him, and he took him out of DeKalb County School and put him in Gwinnett School. He was failing all his classes with 16s, 15s.
You mean during the time frame he had it?
Correct.
Okay, but we're talking about visitation. So we're talking about him having him on a Thursday night, taking him to school on Friday.
I don't agree with that. I would rather us, before all of this situation happened, to keep it like it was. He would get him from school every other Friday and bring him back Sunday. Because that's how everything was going until the incident that did occur with his sisters them.
Okay, so do you think giving him one additional day will cause your son to flunk?
I really don't feel like he should mess with him nowadays while he's in school, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest with you due to the fact that my son do have a learning disability that I did send to the papers to court. And he do have special teachers with special teachers that help him outside of school.
Okay.
And I have papers
when are the teachers
sent to the court too for that. I got papers.
When does he have help outside of school?
I want to say Tuesday and Thursdays.
Okay. And what's the time frame? What is that? Like right after school until when?
Till 6.
6 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because it wasn't a problem for him to get him every Friday and bring him back Sunday until the situation with his sisters happened.
What grade is he going to?
He's going to the 9th.
Yep, freshman. Now, Your Honor. Now, this the only reason why we are standing in front of you today is because of the way how things played out. It started as me getting him every other weekend, and then it went from, whenever she felt like it or whenever.
It never went from wherever I felt like it. I would tell him, he'll feel like since him and his side of the family can go out of town, I don't feel like Rashawn should miss no type of days in school, period. If the vacation deal with him missing school, I will say no, I will. But if it's out of school and he's not going to miss school, I don't have no problem with Rashawn going out of town with his father. And he gets mad when I tell him no, like, I just, like I'm not saying it for a reason. But like I said, none of this ever would have happened. Even if you can go to the original document, you could tell that his sister filled it out and he signed it. His sister filled out all the paperwork and he signed it. This is based off of his sisters them. Before his sister them got involved, Rashawn been seeing his son every other weekend since Rashawn been born.
That is not true. But I mean, Your Honor,
Okay.
this is about,
like I said, I have documents from the school.
Okay, you can't interrupt him, so I can only listen to one at a time. All right.
But I was just talking, so he interrupted me.
Okay. I apologize, y'all. I apologize.
Okay.
So I got documentation from the school where they can tell you that he was getting him every Friday and bringing him back to me. And I have videos from my house that show that he was getting visitation and everything.
Okay. And I do remember though, Mr. Hoos, that there was some issue about vacation when you first came in. You said something, I think you was trying to maybe Disney World or something like that.
Yeah,
right, correct.
I planned a trip to Disney World.
That caused a big issue.
Yeah, I
correct.
trip for Disney World last year for my youngest son's birthday for his.
I know, but was that during the school week? Was that cause an issue?
I think there was a spring break. I think that was their
It wasn't a spring break. It was school week.
It was
because your son's birthday is in March.
Yeah, but it was spring break when we went down there. It was a leap year. So last year
it wasn't
down there, it was around spring. It was around springtime.
So the issue, well, regardless, at some point the child didn't go on that vacation because mom said it was interfering with school. Your position is that you thought he was out of school. Would you have taken him if he was in school?
Yes.
If I had the permission, which I was received the permission from, I think her mom told me I could take him. No, she told me I could take him, and then mom told me I couldn't take him.
Neither one of us was in agreement. And when I did have my lawyer, they sent the paperwork on that too as well.
Okay.
The text messages.
So when the child was with you, Miss Andrews says the child was flunking. Is that true?
He literally started school. He was in school for like a month, and he told me that he was doing good. I got in touch with the guidance counselors to have a rapport with them to reassure that he was doing what he was supposed to be doing in school like that. And from my understanding, he was doing good. For him to be transferring from another school in the middle of the school year.
But what is your understanding of good?
That he wasn't failing or anything. And from my understanding, once he went back to his old school, he's still succeeding. He's still excelling. He's passing and going to the 9th grade, so he didn't miss a beat. I don't feel like he missed a beat at all.
Okay.
I sent you the transcripts to the school.
Andrews, what evidence do you have that he was failing?
I sent the transcripts. The lawyer sent the transcripts of all the paperwork. And I also have it right here too as well.
Did Mr. Hoos get a copy of the?
No, ma'am. I don't get a copy of
it's all in the e-file, so he should have got a copy.
Yeah. So it was e-file. Her position is e-file. So if it's e-file.
Okay.
With the lawyer.
Okay.
And I'm gonna reference his grades right now because I just pulled it out. He had a 16, he had a 48, he had a 49, he had a 63, and he had a 70. In Radloff Middle School.
Yeah, and he was only placed there for a few weeks, Your Honor.
But if like I said, in a few weeks, he should not have even been failing none of the classes because once you start school, you start with 100.
Yeah, but starting off at a new school, it's a little bit different.
I don't know if it's a little bit number 16 different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand. I understand that too, Your Honor. But as far as
when I got him back from that school and took him back to the Cobb County School where he was at, he started all over and he has not failed now in class since then. And he's been promoted to the 9th grade.
And I appreciate you for being there for him.
Okay, so with regard to the normal visitation, so this started out with your request for legitimation so that you can get the custody, have custody rights with regard to your child. Miss Andrews, your position is that Mr. Andrews is the child's father, right?
Mr. Hoos.
Mr. Hoos
Yes.
is the child's father. Okay. And it looks like I know I amended everything, but did I keep the legitimation in place or do I need to redo that?
I have the paper. Let me read over it like this.
It's like, yeah, looks like I set aside everything. Okay,
Right.
So I'm gonna legitimate the child because there's no objection to the child, and he's been visiting child, participating with the child, so he's not lost his opportunity, interest with regard to the child. He wants to have more visitation with the child, which means that the court will look at alternating holidays. How do y'all alternate?
We alternate every other holiday. So, just say, if he was getting him like he normally would have get him, it's every other holiday.
Okay,
So if I get him his birthday this year, he have him his birthday last year. If I get him Thanksgiving this year, he have Thanksgiving next year.
Okay, who's getting
it goes
Thanksgiving this year?
So forth and so forth.
So, all right. So can we start from his birthday this year? Because his birthday is on July the 2nd. I didn't get him last year for his birthday.
Okay, so this birthday you would get him? Is that the understanding, Ms.
Is that
Andrews?
okay with mom?
Right.
Is that okay with you?
I'm keeping it the same way like before. You
Okay.
wanted to come to court.
I just wanted something documented. That's
Okay,
all.
so my question is Thanksgiving this year, who gets the child?
Mom, I think mom
I had him last year.
had him last year. Okay, so I would get him this year.
And then for Christmas, how do y'all do it? Do y'all split the Christmas in half?
We do split Christmas in half. I have him the beginning of Christmas and he have him it's the same day on Christmas. I get him half of that day and then he goes to his father's house until he go back to school.
Okay, so y'all exchange him on what time on Christmas Day?
I was roughly like
it just be
around
like 1 or 2.
5
I
or
say about 1 or 2. It normally be like before night comes. So I want to say like afternoon.
Okay,
That's what it normally be.
I'm gonna put 2 p.m. on the 25th.
That's fine. My family starts Christmas really, really late throughout the day, so that works out.
And mine's do it in the morning. So that's why I said it'd be like half of the day.
Okay. And then after he gets him on Christmas, he keeps him until when?
The day before he go back to school.
The whole time? So even New Year's Eve, New Year's
You're
Day?
right.
Yep.
That's how we've been normally doing it.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so till school start. So you have him from time school is out till Christmas afternoon. He gets them from Christmas afternoon until the start of school.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. That Sunday before school
That's how
starts.
y'all want to keep it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
If that works for
All
her.
right. All right. And then I'll alternate the other holidays.
Awesome.
Okay, and it's still gonna stay like he pick him up from school on Friday and then bring him back Sunday.
Well, I'm considering giving him the time on Thursday so that he would pick him up.
I promise I will not fail y'all. I promise you. Demetric, I will not. If he needs
The first time they say he's missed school or he's being late to school, I'm going to have a problem.
I will be there.
Because he don't miss school for nothing.
I understand.
You better make sure he have his work done. All of that. Because I don't play about none of that.
So no miss school and must do homework.
Yes.
And be on time.
Understand.
Because I stay in the cab and he stay in Gwinnett.
Okay, timely for school. All right, so you'll pick him up after tutoring on Thursday. Now this is just on your weekend. So this is your Thursday on your own. When you get your weekends are extended because now you pick him up Thursday. You got to take him to school on Friday morning. And return him to school on Monday, which means that these things gotta be met.
Yes, ma'am.
If there's any school issues, I'm giving Ms. Andrews the right to ask for a change in that visitation policy. Do you understand that?
I totally understand.
All right.
No, I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate y'all.
Okay. All right. And child support will remain as y'all currently have it?
I mean, if it's going to be a whole lot to ask for extension, I will keep the $74. But when I call and ask for help, it's not just because I'm calling to ask you for help.
I know that, dude.
For just money, because you've been doing him wrong this whole year of him calling you and asking you to help with prom, help with graduation, and you tell him, I pay your mama $74. That ain't nothing.
No, that's something we can discuss. We can figure that out.
Because I don't want to have him call you and ask for extra money and you tell him what you've been telling him.
I'm going to leave the child support as is. If you want to come back and modify it later because you think there's been a change with regard to income then or need, then you can do that. Is that good?
I'm fine. Because I always pick up the slack when he do call and say that. I be like, don't even worry about it. I got it.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, because he's going into high school. He's going to need a lot of help. So
no, I know, and I'm here for him. I explain to him all the time that no matter what's going on in the world, your dad is always going to be here for you, regardless of the fact. You can always depend on him.
Andrew was saying she want to kind of see that with some of the money.
Yeah, I know.
And stop telling him, ask your mama for it because I pay her $75 in child support. Stop telling him that. Yeah, because he knows $75 don't do nothing.
Okay, let's definitely stop saying that.
Okay.
All right.
But I was a little, I know this has nothing to do with anything, but I was a little hurt about me not being able to go to my child's graduation ceremony. Like, I'm like, dang, man.
Why were you not able to do that?
I don't know, but I'm like, am I that bad of a father that I can't be a part of his life like that? Like,
well, you're gonna right now I'm giving you the legal custody, so you'll have the rights to do those things now.
I appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Any other issues that I need to cover? All right. Thank you so much. Y'all take care. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.